I know you've taken already a number of measures to ensure that the markets operate in a smooth way. Why not just shut them for a period of time?
Oh, it's absolutely clear that a market suspension is legitimate when there is an operational failure, either to a failure of a trading platform or of post-trade infrastructures, or perhaps also if it's due to an absence of traders. But it is obviously not the case in the equity market, with a high volume of transactions properly handled, and despite a high volatility, which has triggered the appropriate circuit breakers. In the current circumstances, a suspension without any clear deadline of reopening would be highly counterproductive. Shifting the transaction from some suspended regulated platforms to other platforms and to the OTC market, and shifting the selling flows from the equity market to other asset classes which are already experiencing a severe stress. The recent Philippine stock market episode of closure and reopening illustrates the danger of such a stance. It's not the case now. We do not intend to suspend markets.
Yeah, and it's a very clear, why you're against it, especially when the markets are functioning. Do you have any participants? Do you have any part of people that are working in it that are asking you, though, to shut it, even if you're against it?
It's fair to say that it's an ongoing discussion, and it's also fair to say that our policy stance is very clear. Without any operational failure, there is no case for market suspension. But, of course, there could be cases for adapting some elements of the market functions, and to some extent, the short selling ban we have implemented yesterday is part of this story. Do you want me to elaborate a bit on it? Yeah, and I want to ask you whether
the short selling ban. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you whether the short selling ban you see as really useful. Exactly what will it do, and how can it change the dynamics?
We will see, I should say. But there are two lines of reasoning. First of all, it's obvious that these market circumstances are very extraordinary. Volatility, bearish pressure are both unprecedented. And it's also clear that in normal market circumstances, short sellers have a very useful contribution to the price formation. But it's also clear that the value added is at best very low, if not negative, in the current circumstances, with high volatility, downwards pressure on prices. And so, provided the market-making activities are exempted from the ban, I do not think that this ban could harm the market functioning.
And but the short selling ban, aren't prices just going down? Sir, let me just jump in. Aren't prices going down because people... Yeah, aren't prices going down because people are worried about a recession? So it's not hedge funds going short that are really exacerbating the moves.
That's absolutely clear. We have not, to be fair, we have not observed a sharp increase in short position during the last weeks, and it's very clear that the drop in share prices cannot be attributed to short sellers. But it's a possible future increase of their activities would also be detrimental to the market. In order to keep the market open, I consider therefore prudent to minimize this risk by introducing a ban. But there is also a more political dimension to this matter. And perhaps you have seen the governor, Andrew Bailey, yesterday. He told yesterday in an interview, and I quote, "Anybody who says I can make a lot of money by shorting, which may not be frankly in the interest of the economy, the interest of the people, just stop doing what you are doing." And the people, the parliament, will never accept that at a time when we all suffer from the pandemic, some will gain from this disaster by shorting the value of our economy. We have the tool to avoid that, and it is also a social responsibility to use them and to trigger the ban. That's what we have done in France yesterday.
Mr. Ophele, can I ask you whether you'd be in favor, or if there's talk at a European level, to shorten the trading day. So not shut the markets, but just shave off a couple of hours, like I think they're thinking about in the US.
It could be a solution, but let me mention that this issue has been raised before the pandemic, so it could be legitimate in itself. And it's also clear that in the current circumstances, there is a case to be reviewed with all the stakeholders, meaning the traders and the trading platforms, and so on and so on.